Okay.
Hey, Whitney.
Hey.
You had sent it earlier. You got it. You're on it.
Good. Thank God. Oh, hang on. I feel like I need more light in here.
I need less light.
Yeah. Maybe I'll just keep the lights down so you can not see how bad I look right now.
That's so funny. I just turned on my camera. I was like, maybe I should turn my light off.
Maybe I should fix my hair like you.
I just scared myself. Haven't looked in the mirror all day today.
I know.
Gotta love Zoom.
Well, we can go ahead and start. Hang on. Does anybody? Okay. One of my clients was posting on the Healthy Living page. So you and I can go ahead and start. I'm not sure if the other girls are going to hop on, but
Okay.
I don't want to run out of time. So thanks for meeting me on Zoom. It ended up being an even crazier day than I thought. We have 3 kids with fevers.
Oh, no.
It freaking sucks.
Oh, I bet.
Like, why does everybody have to be sick? Okay, so let me see if I can find my notes where we chatted last time. So I know you talked to Kim last week.
Yes.
And let's see, that's not you. Here you are. Okay. All right. So what's been going on since we talked last? It's been 2 weeks now.
So I've talked to 6 people last week about, the week before I had talked to 10. Last week I talked to 6 people, or told the Arbonne story to 6 people. And then I had 2 parties, helped Andrea with a couple things. Feel like it's been pretty busy, but
Awesome.
yeah. And then I have 2 parties this week. So pretty excited about that. I got those 2 off of a party that happened last week, because other than that, I didn't have more parties booked.
Awesome. Good.
So,
Good. Okay. So what is your running total for the month as far as how many people you've shared the story with?
I had all this in my notebook, and I have a different notebook right now. Okay, so when I had talked to you, I had 10, and then last week I had 6, so 16.
Okay, awesome. And then your goal for the month was 5,000?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so QV wise, what are you looking at right now?
I think I am at 872.
Okay.
So just under 1,000.
And what's
I'm really excited about the 2 parties coming up, because they are all interested in the sets. So.
And what's Andrea's, that's the girl we were chatting about last time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you said it was her 3rd month in the business.
Mm-hmm.
So what is she doing?
She's just she's following up with people, but she doesn't have anything like set or booked. She did get a lot of responses from that message that she sent out, but pretty much everybody canceled.
Yeah.
So she's pretty much just trying to reschedule things right now.
Okay.
But no parties or anything like that.
Okay. And so what's your plan as far as who are you going to launch next?
So I met with 2 girls last week, and they both said that they're interested.
Awesome.
And I think that's where I get stuck, is someone's like, oh yeah, I'm interested. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then that's where it turns like awkward. So I met with one girl, and I took her out to lunch, and we were just talking like, where do you see yourself? And she said, well, if I do it, like, I want to go all the way. And so I really see her on the nutrition side. She's really into nutrition. She's really into the gym and things like that. And she does a little bit of personal training on the side. So I could really see her taking off with the nutrition. She wants to try it. So I'm going to be in Visalia on Friday. So I told her that I'd drop her off some samples and stuff like that. Awesome. But I think that transition part is kind of where I really struggle, of getting someone started like quicker.
Yeah. Okay. So when you met with her, did you like go over that Is Arbonne for You sheet, or
yes?
What? Okay. So you went over the Is Arbonne for You sheet, and then how did you end it?
I basically just told her that last part was like, where do you see yourself? And she said I would go all the way. And I said, well, our recipe for success is like 8 to 10, parties a month. You want to get in front of, 40 to 50 people. And she was just like, yeah, she's like, I just want to make sure that I like the products first. So,
So from that response, I would say, oh my gosh, yeah. And so whatever you guys worked out about dropping the products off, so I would go ahead and get that in the works. Maybe, shoot her a sample. Like if she hadn't committed to purchasing something, I would say, oh my gosh, like I have a sample in my purse. Or if I didn't have a sample in my purse, I would mail her something and address that issue first. Like, oh my gosh, you're totally going to love the products. Like assure them over and over that they're going to love them. And then from there, my next step is always, okay, girl, well, I'm going to get that in the mail, or I'm going to get that to you ASAP. But hey, I'm not sure if you have any free time on Sunday. I would love for you to meet my friend so-and-so. And I do a third-party validation. To this day, I do 3-way calls with Beth all the time.
Really? See, I always feel like I've been in it so long that I should not need to do that.
No, I do it all the time. And so... like it was so bad to the point that I was like, I would have my business builder, like someone who is direct to me, have a prospect, and my business builder would 3-way me with their prospect. So we're all 3 on the phone. And then I would 3-way Beth in. And then Beth would sit there and I would talk. And then at the end, she would like say a little bit. And then I would do it all over again. I'm like, oh, Beth, we have a new girl. Like, I need you to be. And there was 4 of us on the call. And so, I don't know, it was stupid. And so it took a lot of her telling me that it was okay. I was fine. But if it's someone that I'm personally sponsoring into my business, I still use third-party validation. Okay. And so what I do is I connect them as soon as possible. So if that would have been me in that situation, I would have said, oh my gosh, girl, I'm going to get you that ASAP. But hey, listen, I know, you mentioned, like maybe they mentioned a hesitation or a fear. Like I know you were, talking about how you're kind of shy and like you don't know if you could see yourself doing something like this, but I would love for you to just meet my friend. And if you have 10 minutes on Sunday, I would love to, if I could just call you and we could chat real quick. And so I never use terms like 3-way phone call. I never use my upline. I never use sponsor. I always say my friend. And then I just use words to describe like whoever I felt like could relate to them.
Okay.
If that makes sense. I always do that. Always, always, always. And there's even times like where I ask and it doesn't necessarily work out, like for scheduling reasons. And so I'll just do it. Like I'll talk to them again. But for the most part, that's my next step, that third party validation. And then I end that phone call, so I usually let Beth share her story, and then she always says, do you have any questions for me? Because it's like making it known she's a national vice president. She's been with the company for 12 years. She has success, right?
Right.
So she always will kind of say something like, well, so-and-so, do you have any additional questions for me? And then they'll ask some questions, and then, or they'll say, no, I think that's it. Then I say, Sierra, so I found that usually what works best is if you feel like you're ready to go, we'll get you signed up and I'll add you to the websites and we'll get you going. But if you're still kind of on the fence about it, if you just, picked out a date, if you and I could pick out a date on your calendar, I could come and share the products with you guys. You could feel them again. You could try some more stuff that you haven't gotten to try yet. And in the meantime, we could try and get you some products at 80% off. And so I'm basically like, are you ready to get signed up and get started? Or are you still on the fence? Like, let's just, pick out a day. I'll come and pamper you and get you some more goodies. It's all in the way that you say it. Does that help?
Yeah. So you said that really fast though, and I'm trying to write.
Okay. I can do it again. So okay. I would say, so if they say that they don't have any other questions.
Or if you're recording, just send me the link to that. Perfect. And then I saw that Jessica jumped in, so that's perfect.
Awesome. Hey, Jessica. Oh, she's in a meeting. Okay. I am listening in a meeting. Okay.
And then the second girl, she said that, so she went with me to the monthly meeting, and then I went to her house, and her friend went with me to the monthly meeting. And then when I was at her house, it just seemed like the friend had changed her mind about being interested. She's like, no, I just kind of see myself using the nutrition more than being a consultant and stuff like that. So I think her vibe my friend changed her vibe when the girl said that. And so I didn't push it or anything. And I was just like, okay. So I gave them a facial and let them try all the products and stuff. They tried a little bit of the nutrition line. And then I called her the next day and I was just like, so what do you think? And she was just saying, she's like, yeah, I think I want to do it. And then I'm like, okay, well, let's get together. And then she just said something like, can't you just give me the car or something like that? So I don't know. So with that one, I feel kind of weird, like awkward, like, okay, what do I do next? Because
so that's where, like, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out where I want to start. So anytime I prospect somebody and I start talking to them about the business, like whether it's at a group presentation or a one-on-one or just somebody that I thought about, I don't just share the business like, as a consultant, you can get a 35% discount. District manager, you can make an extra $500 to $1,000 a month. Area manager, you can make $1,000. Like I remember this one party, like I was trying to think back when I started like really putting my heart out there about the business. And the earliest that I can recall is back whenever we were living in Fresno, and I think I was a new area manager, and I went to a party in Fresno, and like 6 people decided that they were going to join my business that night. And it went something like, I don't remember how it got brought up, but I was like, it doesn't matter where you come from, what your background is, who you know, who you don't know, what kind of car you drive, what kind of clothes that you wear. Like, it was really deep, if that makes sense. And then just the other day I was with a group of girls and I was like, I was talking to them about the business, and I always listen to Miranda's training now before I go in and do a party. And so I was talking to these girls about the business, and I said, when I first started this business, I really didn't believe that I would make back the $79 that it cost me to get started, let alone be driving a white Mercedes with Arbonne, 2 years later. And when I look at that, and when I look at that time frame, and I look at that timeline, and I know that I'm one step away from, being a national vice president with Arbonne. Nobody needs $20,000 a month. And then I'll say, but think about, have you ever been standing in line at Walmart and you just wish that you had an extra $200 to pay for the person's groceries in front of you? Have you ever walked into a restaurant and just wished that you had the extra money to pay for that person's meal beside you, or to leave your waitress a $200 tip? What charities do you want to give back to? What organizations do you want to pour into? And then I've even asked them before, I've said, our changed lives are meant to change lives. And, I think about why do we get to drink clean water? Why do we have a roof over our head? Why do we have a bed to sleep in? And so it's really deep. I feel like when I start talking about the business, so when I go to close it out, if I sit down with someone, and then I'll end it because I'm really deep and really into it. And then I'll say, but anyway, you guys, that's how you can get a 35% discount. So next way you can save is by becoming a preferred client. So then I reel it back in and pick up the pace a little bit. And then when I sit down with them one-on-one, the ones who were just glued to me, their eyes were glued to me, I'll ask them, so have you ever thought about doing something like this? And they immediately feel more comfortable, dreaming, if that makes sense. So I don't really feel as far as the prospecting and sponsoring cycle goes, we always get people who are not really ready to work, but I feel like they're more mentally and emotionally vested, ready to change the world. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Does that help? So I think that it's just painting that bigger picture for this gal, and I don't know anything about her, so it would be hard for me to say, you probably know, is she just scraping by? Does she have room for extra? So when she would have said, well, can they just give me the car? I probably would have laughed and said, well, yeah, but Sierra, gosh, have you ever thought about da-da-da-da-da? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just basically challenging her mindset and where she's at. And yeah, we can get by, but who wants to just get by? There's more to life than just getting by. So maybe if you're put in that situation again with someone who's just thinking small, and remember too, if they're thinking small like that, or lazy like that, it may not necessarily be your next ace anyway, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But you can always go with the verbiage hey, Sierra, if you're just on the fence about it, I'll just come over and, invite some more girls over who couldn't come the other night, and we'll see if we can't get you some stuff at 80% off. Once you try blah, 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 you're totally going to love it, and basically just set yourself up for another exposure.
Okay.
Does that info help?
Yeah, it does.
I feel like that's hard. I feel like it's tricky, but, I'm telling you, 150% honest, when I start talking about the business, I pour it out there.
Yeah, and I need to get better at that, I think, because mine's more facts. It's you were saying, this is what you can make it this, and this is what, just more, it's not really tugging at the heartstrings. And I think people see those numbers and they're nobody makes that, or nobody gets that.
Yeah. So just find a way that you can say, I'm a district manager and I will be an area manager by blah, 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 blah. And even if in that moment you don't believe it in your head, say it. Say it. Say you're going to be an area manager, because the more that your brain hears your mouth speak it, the more that you're going to start to believe it.
Yeah.
And, gosh, I just think about, at any promotion level, the number just seems so almost unobtainable at times. But when I get in there and I start sharing about the business, boy, every single person thinks I'm getting ready to promote to national vice president. They all, they feel it, So I would, because that's the most crucial part of of the presentation, or one-on-one even is what you share about the business. Does it help? Were you able to hop on the Monday Nation call?
Mm-mm.
The noon call?
No,
so go back and watch the recording. I did the recording. So it's me going over that Is Our Bond For You sheet. And, I mean, it's basically exactly how I would do a one-on-one with someone. I mean, it ended, you know, Beth wasn't like, so I was prospecting Beth, which made me a little nervous, but I know, right? And then on top of that, so I'm prospecting our executive national vice president, and then she tells me she's a brain surgeon. Like, that's what we were pretending. I was like, okay, that's not intimidating at all. So at the end, when I was trying to seal the deal, like we were just talking about, set up other exposures, she kind of gave me like let me talk to my husband. And so it's like good at the end, because I mean, that's exactly what I would do if it was a stranger. Like, I was on the spot, like in role-playing mode. Like, that's what I would have done for real. So hopefully that'll help for sure.
Yeah, I'll go listen to that.
So let's see, Jessica, I don't know if you can type in the comment section or not. I don't know how available you are. I guess, Sierra, is there anything else that you feel like has been a struggle? Do you see improvements? Do you think this accountability is like helping you stay on track?
I definitely think it's helping me, because you know that you have to tell someone what you've done or haven't done.
Yeah.
So that definitely makes it a little more, it makes a difference. But I just feel like it's given me more hope almost. Like, I look at my numbers and I'm like, okay, so I'm at, you know, less than 1,000 right now, and my goal is 5. And normally I'd be like, forget it, I'll try in February. But I don't feel that way anymore. I feel like I have good things in the pipeline. I just need to know, or I just need to work on funneling it and getting it to the next level. Because I feel like I talk to people and I have really good responses. But then I feel like that getting the responses and then getting them to commit, there's that miss. So I love the idea of the 3-way call, and I love knowing that it's encouraged and not like, you've been doing this for 2.5 years, you should not need a 3-way call, you know? So that makes me feel a lot better, because I always struggle with feeling like, should I know this enough already to not need to do that? And so then I just don't do it.
Well, but it's not that you do know all the information. It's so just call it what it is. It's a third-party validation. And, you know, the way that I like rationalize that in my head is that, I mean, I always heard, you know, it takes 2 to 3 exposures for someone to say yes. And I mean, I remember, you know, Kim told me her story, and then I went home and listened to Cammie Lee's story, which I was pretty much sold on then. But then I went to a Discover Arbonne and heard Beth's story. So, I mean, just think about it like that. Like, we want to give them another story as quickly as possible. Yeah. As soon as possible, because we want to speed up that 2 to 3 exposure time.
Yeah. Okay.
Jessica didn't type anything. So I will say, you know, for me personally, like I think I told you last time we talked, I was keeping track of like how many people I was asking a day. Did I tell you that? Okay, so for me, like I've still been writing it down in my notebook, like what I'm doing for personal growth and development every day. You know, if I've done some sort of income producing activity like a one-on-one or a party, and then how many people that I've asked. And I've been filling out that 40 faces sheet. And it has been, I mean, awesome. Like I can already see growth in just tracking those things. So just keep doing it. Like I won't let myself go to sleep at night unless I've done my ask for the day. You know, just like Shiloh did back, I don't remember when it was. Sometime since I've been in the business. But it really does help because I can see, you know, my own personal business and district starting to reap the benefits of that, because I'm not willing to go to sleep without doing the do, basically. So just keep doing those little things every day, and you're going to see a big difference in your business, for sure.
Okay.
For sure. And it's the 30 days, like when I was listening to that last training, you're not going to see like awesome wow results right away from the 30 peoples in 30 days. But at your 60 days or your 90 days, that first group of 30, that's when stuff's going to start popping up.
Right.
You stick with it.
Okay.
Do you have any other questions?
That was my main thing that I was thinking of, is just that transition part.
So let's see, our next call is, I don't know when, February something. Let me see. It's like the group one, I think. February 1st.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll have a call with Kim next week.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll be back on the call February 1st. Okay, so I would say, do you feel like you're consistently asking people every day, or to get the activity that you've had thus far, did you do like a binge? And like,
yeah, I feel I'm more binge than daily.
Okay, so why don't you make that your next goal? So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, minimum, ask 7 people. Just minimum. Do not go to sleep unless you have asked 7 people, or using that verbiage. Do you have 20 minutes where we could, chat over the phone? Do you have 20 minutes where we can meet up for coffee? And if you have a time zone where you're like, oh, you know what, like I'm going to get this done and like look at my calendar, then obviously, yeah, like don't say, oh, I've already asked my 7, like I'm done.
Yeah.
If you have the time to do it, then do it. But if you're just doing life this weekend and you have other stuff going on, just say, okay, like I'm going to do my life and I'm going to have fun, but I'm going to ask 7 people before I lay my head down. And that could be like seriously, I copy it and paste it and change the name, and I will do like 3 while I'm peeing on the potty. And then I'll do like, 4 more when I sit down to eat lunch, And so I'm just doing them throughout my day, but I'm writing them down in my notebook as I do them. So then at the end of the day, I'm like, oh, I've already asked 7 people. And oh, look, the first one's already gotten back to me,
Yeah.
And said yes.
And do you do that through Facebook? Since like, I feel like I've already gone through my contacts with the phone. Mm-hmm. Sorry. My bulldog is just farting like crazy under my desk. I was like, what is that sound?
That's funny.
Yeah. Do you just send that on Facebook?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Even to people I've never talked to before.
Yeah.
And so, and of course, like with that, I would change it a little bit. So like this girl that I have a call with on Saturday, I had never talked to her before. And I said, hey, Amanda, because she knows my husband. I said, hey, Amanda, this is Jonathan's wife, Whitney. I'm reaching out because I'm in a special mentoring program with my Arbonne team. I've been challenged to get in front of 30 people this month just to give an overview of Arbonne. I get that it may not be a fit for you personally, and you may not even know what it is. Laugh out loud. But I just need a set of ears. Ha, ha, ha. It's a busy time, I know, but do you have 20 minutes to spare for a quick phone call one day next week? So basically,
and then when you talk to her, what are you saying? Like, are you
going over that is Arbonne for you sheet?
Is Arbonne for you? Even though so are you making it just like, this is what Arbonne is about, this is why it's an amazing company, this is the potential that you could earn?
So like, and her and I are chatting on Saturday. And so like what I've been doing is I'm opening up the call and I'm like, oh my gosh, Amanda, thank you so much. Cause I don't even know her, never met her, never talked to her. And so I'll say, oh my gosh, Amanda, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to chat with me. It really means so much. But I am just going to tell you a little bit about what Arbonne is. I mean, have you ever heard of Arbonne before? Like, prior to seeing my post and stuff? And she'll answer me. She'll say yes or no. And then I'll kind of play off that. And, you know, if she says, yeah, I've heard of it, I'll say, oh my gosh, that's so awesome. Like, have you used the products before? And she'll answer. And then I'll play off of that. And if she says no, she's never heard of it, then I'll say, oh my gosh, well, I'm so excited to share with you, you know, why I fell in love with this company. And then basically I'll share like a quick little glimpse of my story. And then I'll go into, so Arbonne's been around for 36 years. Like, that's crazy. And then I'll start going from the sheet. And I do that in that video too.
Okay.
With Beth. Yeah. Because we did that. Like, I pretended like I sent Beth that text. Do you have 20 minutes to meet me for coffee? And so that's how we started.
Okay. Yeah, because I think that's what felt a little awkward for me is I feel like I use that sheet once someone says they're interested.
No.
You know? So
change that.
Using it. Okay.
Yeah. So just say, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to share a little bit more about Arbonne with you. And that French side goes over, you know, everything about like the company and the products and all that. And so then I flip the sheet over and I'm like, okay, so the last part is just, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what network marketing is. I didn't even know what network marketing was prior to Arbonne. And so I just kind of preface it with that, like, I'm just going to educate you on what network marketing is.
And then the way you transition the end, that's in that video?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll go watch that.
Yep. And of course, you know, it's always a little bit different, like each time. Yeah. But for the most part, the bones are there, you know. And it's just, you know, at the end, it's just saying, you know, so like on a scale from 0 to 5, how interested do you think you are in starting a business? And I don't always say that, but if I'm getting the vibe that they are, like I think Beth said in that video, oh my gosh, I wish I would have known about this 20 years ago, or I wish I would have said yes 20 years. So I was getting the vibe that she was interested in the business. Oh, it's time for our call, huh?
Yeah.
So I was getting the vibe that she was interested in the business. And then at the end, I was like, so let's go from 0 to 5. Like, how interested are you? And then she gave me some hesitation. So, all right, I won't keep you guys. We'll hop on the Nation call. But I'm glad that helped. So make it a goal to reach out to 7 people minimum in the next 3 days. And then, you know, I mean, set it your goal to have talked to at least make that 16 turn into 25. All right. We'll talk soon.
Thanks, Whitney.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.